Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes Report. So all the changes since the last Frontline Changes report, which is just over 24 hours, maybe 25. So we have frontline changes, some new ones, very significant ones. So we have frontline changes over at Novi Put, Veterino, Martinovka, Krajhorivka over in the Bakhmut front, Kalinina, Chasivya, Bohoviev-Lenka over the Donetsk front, Voleda, and Zolotan So we're going to go into the Kursk front first. And first thing first is this interesting frontline change, this mapping reported by Surya Maps. They claim that the Russian forces have retaken everything over in this Glushkovo sector. The Russians have re-secured the entire border region around Novi Put. So very, very interesting report coming out. This is, of course, only going to affect the Russian mapping because this is not acknowledged by the Ukrainian side just yet. So this is very significant if this is true. And however, this border is not very, it's not that secure in the sense that the Ukrainians could potentially still attack. So whether the Russians will want to push out and create a buffer like in the Kharkiv front, will be the big question next. But I think not yet. I think the Russians still need to clear out the entire Kursk front first. The Kursk front is still pretty much vulnerable, or rather, humiliating for the Russians, because this is still exists. I think until the Russians clear out the entire region, I don't think the Ukrainians were going to be punching into Sumy just yet. So the next frontline change is over at Veterino. So the Ukrainian mapping have said that the Russians have retaken these positions. They have disclaimed this area here around Veterino. Grey zone is much further away until around Agovka region. So we shall see how this continue to develop. There is a lot of pressure on the Ukrainians in this area, so I think we're going to see more frontline changes soon. The next frontline change, we jump to Martinovka. So at Martinovka, this I have reported in the situation report. Ukrainian forces has been geolocated in the forest. This invalidates huge chunk of territory north of Martinovka, which was previously mapped by Surya Maps as Russian control. So this invalidates it. Ukrainian forces either have retaken this position or the Russians has never taken this area here. So Martinovka is still firmly under Ukrainian control. So that's all we know for now. And we jump next to Krajhorivka, all the way to the Bakhmut front. So in case you're lost, just now we were here, so now we are going here. So over in the Donetsk region, so over at the Bakhmut front, this is Bakhmut, the very famous city where a big battle was fought between the Ukrainian forces and the Wagner private military contractors, which is also nicknamed Wagner Land. So over at Krajhorivka, Ukrainian mapping have mapped that the Russian forces have taken portion of the forest southwest of Krajhorivka, and the Russians have fully secured the heavy fortification along the canal region. So the Russian forces have made some advance around here. So Ukrainians still arguably, possibly, maybe still holding Krajhorivka. Russian Defense Ministry have declared twice that they have captured Krajhorivka, but we still have no evidence of that case. So it is what it is. So which is why we have multiple mappings to know. We have our methodology to keep track of the things. So after Krajhorivka, the next frontline change is over at Kalinina. So there's these two major frontline change. One of this is confirmed, but of course this is also very wonky, because this is actually mapped by the Ukrainian side, claiming that the Russians have expanded control within the forest. How do you know where the front line is within the forest is beyond me, but they drew it like this. So it is what it is. And south of this position, Surya Maps have mapped this sector is called the Zovneve or the Oktyabrski, which is the old name of Chasivya. This is the neighborhood. This is the name of the neighborhood. According to the mapping by Surya Maps, they mapped that the Russians have taken a lot bigger positions that we previously understood, including all the trenches over on this along the canal, as well as the railway line and the entire eastern part of this residential area. However, I would say take this with a massive pinch of bucket of No, don't use bucket. Use a lorry load of salt. The problem is that the Ukrainian side, Deep State UA, have actually published a post talking about the battles in this region. They show that 2 Russian soldiers was in a firefight exactly at this geolocated position. So this is where the firefight happened, and the Ukrainian troops is actually in a firefight with them. So this is where the front line actually is. So this mapping is a bit no, yeah, I would say no. Just take, just stuff your mouth with salt. No, not necessary. Most likely, isn't this case, but whatever it is, yeah. So just keep eating salt. No, kill your kidney. Your kidney is not important. You don't need kidneys. No, you got 2 of them. Just kill both of them. So after this, this area here, which I have not much more to talk about, we jumped all the way to oh, there's one more here. So at this area here, so this is actually mapped by the Ukrainian mapping. They claim that the Russian forces attacked from the towards the west of Ivaniske and have taken the junction around here. Very, very interesting. This junction strategically is important, but defensively, I'm not sure how defendable is this. So this junction here, the Russian forces have taken control. It includes a number of trenches around here. However, the Ukrainians have a lot of forest cover all around here. This is in the southeast of Chasiv. Whether the Russians can now take advantage of this advance remains to be seen. Forest is always a problematic thing, and I really don't think strategically it makes sense to capture Chasiv right now. So if the Russians want to kill themselves, they can go on. Just like the footage that was posted by Deep State UA, that 2 soldiers, at least one of them is dead by drone strike. So, and yeah, it looks really horrible. So that they are in that firefight, and it looks very clear that they are overpowered. They are overpowered by the Ukrainian side. So we move all the way to Bohov-Yevlenka. So all the way to the west of Donetsk, or southwest of Donetsk, there is a geolocation of Russian forces in a new position along the forest around north of the South Donbass mine 3. I believe that's 3. So is it 3? Yes, 3. You see, I remember. I'm now starting to know the geography of Ukraine better than my own country right now. No, I'm just joking. Of course, it's not possible. Singapore is a small place. So anyway, so this small little advance, but we shall see how this goes. There's all this entrenchment being drawn over here. I'm not even sure if this is real, but whatever it is, so there's some advance towards Bohov-Yevlenka around here. South of Bohov-Yevlenka, Voleda, north of Voleda, Ukrainian mapping. Ukrainian mapping have mapped that the Russian forces have secured even further north of Voleda. As you can see, this is the importance of Voleda. The moment Voleda falls, you can see that the front line just keep moving away. Voleda was that fortress that actually protects this area here. The fall of Voleda just caused the front line to just keep moving. So now you know why is it a fortress city. This is also why in the medieval times, castles, fortresses are useful. Even a small little fort is able to control large area of grounds. So this is why that's the case. But yeah, it's gone, so it's gone. Yeah. So and the next frontline change is over at Zoleta Neva. So based on Ukrainian mapping, they have acknowledged the Russian mapping along the river east of Zoleta Neva, confirming the Russians have secured all the way to the point of the river. They still refuse to acknowledge the fall of Zoleta Neva, mapping that the entire southern part of Zoleta Neva has been taken by the Russians, but not the northern part. They still claim that the Russians are not there. So if I zoom in, you'll probably see the Ukrainian claims. They claim that the entire northern part is still under Ukrainian control. I should use the blue. They still believe that the Ukrainians have control of the northern part, and then the Russians have only the control of the southern part. But my feelings is that this is absolutely untrue. Just look at the terrain. How are you going to reinforce and resupply? How are you going to come? It's all open ground. You're just waiting to get killed by the drone strike. So this is most likely going to be the case. But whatever it is, this is the mapping that we have, and that's it. So these are the frontline changes report for the past 24 to 30 hours, maybe. So anyway, thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe. Check out the situation report, which is a bit more detailed, and look out for the next situation report, and I'll see you guys in the next update.